everyone, I'm Julia Blanchette and I'm the Healthcare Chair on the Advisory Council here at Camp Ho Mita Koda. In this Diabetes Awareness Month, I wanted to share with all of you why I'm such a big supporter of Camp Ho Mita Koda. So I was first diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 7 years old, and I had the best endo team and the best support system I could have ever hoped for. And now anyone that knows me is going to be shocked by what I'm about to say, but I used to be really shy about living with type 1 diabetes. I really struggled. I just felt different because of having type 1 diabetes, and I was really secretive. I didn't like telling my friends. I didn't want to talk about it. And then in third grade, when I had got an insulin pump, I covered it up with these giant ugly Gap sweatshirts because I didn't want anyone to see it or ask questions. And I just really felt different and wanted to be a normal kid. So in 2002, when I was 10, I went to diabetes camp for the first time. So I actually didn't go to Ho Mita Koda. I grew up in Connecticut. Now, if I had lived in Northeast Ohio, clearly Ho Mita Koda would have been my camp of choice. But, attending diabetes camp was really moving for me. I left camp feeling excited to know other kids my age with type 1. I wanted to go take more of my own self-management on. I wanted to change my pump site for the first time all of a sudden by myself. And I felt really proud to take care of my diabetes by myself. And I also just felt totally normal at diabetes camp. I felt like I could be myself. I made some of my best childhood friends. And, I had a lot of amazing friends who didn't have diabetes who supported me growing up, but connecting with another child with type 1 who lived the same experience as me was just so different, and I really benefited so much from it. And so by the time I reached middle school age and beyond, I was completely, and still am, loud and proud about living with type 1 diabetes. So in 2015, I wasn't even a registered nurse for a year yet. I applied for a job at Camp Ho Mita Koda as a registered nurse. And at that point in my career, I was already determined to become a diabetes educator. So working at Camp Ho Mita Koda gave me this wealth of knowledge and an experience to carry with me through the rest of my career. And I really learned that caring for a child with type 1 is a lot different than providing care to yourself. So something that was really eye-opening for me was that even though I've had a pretty positive experience living with type 1, I knock on wood, don't have any complications yet. I've never been in DKA or had a low seizure or anything like that. Everyone has a really unique diagnosis story, and everyone is really impacted differently on the psychological level from living with type 1 diabetes. But, camp is a place where kids can connect with each other and support each other through these experiences. And so after that summer working as a registered nurse at Camp Ho Mita Koda, it really stuck with me that working at diabetes camps as a healthcare professional is so valuable, especially if you want to have a career in type 1 diabetes or diabetes in general, or if you just are a healthcare provider interested in learning more about what it's like on that day-to-day basis, the real life experience living with type 1. So, since 2015, I've come back to Camp Ho Mita Koda every summer, and it's been amazing to see these campers return each year, and every year they're more and more confident in themselves and independent in their self-management, and you just see them having fun with their friends and looking up to their camp counselors. But, I'm really inspired by the resiliency that these kids have. So something else that I've noticed, though, is that the diabetes technology that we use for self-management is rapidly changing each year. So just like the rest of the world, we're becoming more and more digitalized with diabetes management. So by donating to Camp Ho Mita Koda this Diabetes Awareness Month, you're not only going to help build confidence in these children through personalized diabetes education and self-management experience, but you're helping to ensure that our campers have access to state-of-the-art healthcare, and that overall will improve their camper experience. So thank you so much, and donate to Ho Mita Koda this Awareness Month.